How many of us have looked at a screen and felt a quiet, burning wish to trade our lives with someone else's? We see the perfect smiles, the perfect vacations, the perfect bodies, and we think, why not that be me? We tell ourselves it's just a silly thought. But what if one day, someone was listening? This is a story about a man named Alex. And it begins with the choice he made in the dark, lit only by the glow of his phone. He offered his freedom and his soul, just to look like someone he saw on social media. The man's name was Rio. On the screen, Rio was not a person, he was a promise of a better life. He had sharp eyes, a jawline that could cut glass, and a life filled with golden sunsets and sparkling drinks. Alex had a gray cubicle, a keyboard that clicked with tired sadness, and a reflection he avoided in the office windows. Every night, Alex would scroll through Rio's feed, a ritual of self-punishment. One Tuesday, after his boss had ignored his work and praised someone else's, Alex felt something inside him break. He typed a comment under Rio's latest picture of a perfect beach, "I would give anything to be you." He expected nothing. A like from a stranger, maybe. Instead, moments later, a message request appeared from a profile with no picture. The name was simple, The Broker. The message was even simpler, anything. Let's talk. A cold thrill, a mix of fear and hope, ran down Alex's spine. He replied. The broker offered a contract, not of paper, but of digital text. You get his face, his apartment, his life, it read. In return, you give us two small things. Your freedom to be anyone else. And your soul, your memories, your connections, what makes you you. Alex laughed, thinking it was a joke. But the offer felt dangerously real. To escape this gray life. To become golden, like Rio. It was a choice between a miserable reality and a beautiful lie. He thought of his empty apartment. He thought of his silent phone. He typed, "I accept." The broker replied instantly. The transaction is complete. But there is a condition you did not ask about. You are not just taking his life. You are taking his place in a much larger game. Before Alex could ask what that meant, his screen went black, and the world dissolved around him. He woke up to the smell of expensive coffee and the feel of silk sheets. Panic seized him as he looked at his hands, they were not his. They were stronger, tanned, with a silver ring on one finger. He scrambled out of bed and ran to a floor-to-ceiling mirror. Rio's face stared back. It was perfect. And it was terrifyingly empty. He was in Rio's apartment, a palace of glass and white furniture overlooking the city. His new phone buzzed endlessly on the marble countertop. Hundreds of notifications. Brand deals. Messages from people with blue checkmarks next to their names. A text from a woman named Chloe with 3 heart emojis. He felt nothing. He was a ghost inside a beautiful machine. He spent the first day trying to play the part. He copied the smile he'd seen in 1,000 photos. He posted a picture of the sunrise with a generic caption, "Another blessed day." The likes poured in, but each one felt like a stone being added to his pockets, pulling him down. The spiral began. He found Rio's expensive guitar in the corner. Alex used to play his cheap, battered guitar every night. It was his only joy. He picked up Rio's instrument, but his fingers felt like foreign objects. The muscle memory was gone. He could not play a single chord. Later, Chloe arrived, kissing him like she had 1,000 times before. He felt no connection, only the cold pressure of her lips. She talked about their upcoming trip to Bali, and he just nodded, his mind a complete blank. Desperate for a piece of himself, he tried to call his own mother. He dialed the number he knew by heart. A confused woman answered. "Hello. Who is this?" It was his mother's voice, but she did not know him. His old number had already been reassigned. He had not just been replaced, he had been erased. That night, a new message from the broker appeared on his screen. "Your performance is weak. You are failing to be him. Remember the contract. There are penalties for breaking the illusion." A single image was attached, a picture of his old, sad face in the office cubicle, but with the eyes scratched out. He had to learn. He had to become Rio, or he would be erased completely. He spent hours studying Rio's old posts, trying to mimic his voice, his posture, his fake, easygoing charm. He searched the laptop in the apartment, desperate for a clue, a guide to being this perfect person. He found a hidden, password-protected folder named The Real Me. His heart hammered in his chest. Maybe this was the key. The password was simple: freedom. Inside was not a guide. It was a diary. A digital record of the real Rio's thoughts. Alex began to read, and the perfect world around him shattered. The entries were filled with a pain and loneliness that was 100 times worse than Alex's old life. They love the brand, not the men. I owe the bank so much money to keep this illusion alive. Chloe thinks I am happy. I have not felt a real emotion in 3 years. The last entry was from 2 days ago. I met someone who offered me a way out. An escape. I just have to give him this life, this cage. I hope whoever takes my place is a good actor. I just want to be invisible again. A cold realization washed over Alex. He had not stolen a dream. He had inherited a prison. He was not the winner of a grand prize, he was the next victim. Full of a strange, new power, he messaged the broker. I know the truth. Rio wanted out. This whole life is a fraud. The reply came back instantly, dripping with digital coldness. We know. You did not buy his happiness. You bought his cage. He is free now, living a simple, anonymous life. You took his place. The contract was not for you to be happy. It was for you to be him. Now, perform. He was at the bottom. Trapped. He was a prisoner in a life someone else had escaped. He scrolled aimlessly through Rio's photo gallery, back to the very beginning, before the fame, before the fake smiles. And there he saw it. A small, blurry photo from 5 years ago. It was a picture of a simple, tiny coffee shop with worn-out chairs. The caption read, "The only place I ever felt free." It was not a beach in Bali or a club in Ibiza. It was a small, ordinary place. That's when the epiphany hit him. Freedom was not about having everything. It was about having something real, even if it was small. He had traded his real, gray life for a fake, golden one. He had made the wrong choice. But the contract was about being Rio. And the real Rio, deep down, just wanted to escape. Alex had a new plan. He would not just perform as Rio. He would perform Rio's final, desperate wish. He found the live stream button on the social media app. His heart pounded. This was it. The broker could erase him, but first, the world would see the truth. He went live. Millions of followers were instantly notified. Alex, looking through Rio's eyes, stared into the phone camera. He did not smile. "Hello, everyone," he said, his voice calm and clear. "My name is Rio, and I have been lying to all of you. This life, this perfect life, it is not real. It is a cage made of likes and brand deals. And it is empty." He walked through the apartment, showing the expensive things without any love for them. "I traded my real self for this. Do not make the same mistake. Your life, your real, imperfect, sometimes boring life, is the most precious thing you have." He then walked to the marble countertop, picked up the buzzing phone that represented his prison, and looked directly into the camera. "True freedom," he said, "is not being wanted by everyone. It's being known by someone. Even if that someone is only yourself." He smashed the phone on the floor. It shattered into 1,000 pieces. The screen went black. And the world dissolved into white light. Alex woke up. He was in a simple, clean room, with sunlight streaming through the window. He looked at his hands. They were his own. He was not in Rio's apartment, but he was not in his old one either. He was somewhere new. Somewhere blank. He owned nothing. He had no job, no history, no followers. He was completely and totally free. And as he felt the warmth of the real sun on his own skin, he knew the truth. Your life is not a draft to be thrown away. It is the only story you will ever get to write. Do not trade your pen for someone else's book. Because you may find that the most beautiful covers hide the most empty pages. The man who appreciates the simple truths of his own story is richer than any king on a screen.